Now at 6, Oklahoma lawmakers pass a bill restricting bathroom access for transgender students. Plus, the 4-state farm show is back at Pitt State. We'll have details, and we'll have our final set of poll results from Missouri voters, this time focusing on President Biden and former President Trump.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities arrest a man suspected of robbing a Joplin bank last week. This is KOAN News at 6. On May 9th, officers responded to a report of a panic alarm being set off at Great Southern Bank. When they arrived, they learned the bank had been robbed. Authorities identified Vincent Gepson of Anderson, Missouri as the suspect. They say Gepson allegedly entered the bank and demanded money, then fled. Police today announced that Gepson was located in Crowley, Louisiana, and was arrested on a federal warrant for bank robbery. Checking in with Doug Heddy now for our first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be another warm and muggy day for us today. Temperatures, they warmed up once again into the 80s for highs. We do have some clouds which have been pushing through in a cold front. You can see that little bright white line, and eventually along that front, which is mainly going to be the I-44 corridor and south, we're going to start to get some scattered thunderstorms, probably in that 7 to 8 to 9 o'clock range. As of right now, not too much going on, so we look pretty good, but you can see that front. It's moving into the northwest side of the metro. It's already pushed through Pittsburgh, so you got 80s to the south, 70s on the north side. Low, very low, severe threat. Can't rule it out, but very low, so I'm not really concerned about this as we go through the evening hours. South of the front, 80s. North of the front, look at that, 69. Yates Center, 69 in Iola. So it is going to cool down over the weekend. Also quite a bit of rain. We'll look at that here in just a bit.
See you soon. The Oklahoma Legislature has approved a bill requiring public school students to use only the bathroom of the sex listed on their birth certificate. Supporters say the bill is about common sense and calls for separate multi-use bathrooms. Opponents argue it targets transgender students who want to use bathrooms where they feel comfortable. It now goes to Governor Kevin Stitt, who is expected to sign that legislation. The Kansas Supreme Court has ruled in favor of Pittsburgh native and philanthropist Gene Bicknell in a dispute over income taxes. His legal fight with the state centered on whether he lived in Kansas or Florida when he sold his company NPC International in 2006. The state argued Bicknell lived in Kansas and therefore owed state income tax. Bicknell paid $48 million in taxes, interest, and penalties. In 2019, the District Court of Crawford County ordered the state to return the money to Bicknell. The state appealed, and the decision was reversed in 2021 by the Kansas Court of Appeals. Well, today, the state's highest court sided with Bicknell, saying he lived in Florida at the time, and that reinstated the district court's ruling. The 4-state farm show kicks off today and runs through Sunday. KOAM's Chris Warner reports on some changes this year and why the show is so important to the area.
47 years. That's how long the 4-state farm show has been popping up in Pittsburgh. For 41 of those years, Lance Markley has been involved in managing the show and has seen things grow and change.
The farm show for many years was on a farm south of town. That enabled us to have some demonstrations and that type thing, and that was great. But as time evolved, it became time to be able to sell a lot of indoor booths.
As the farm show has changed, there's a key element that remains: its ability to educate anyone and everyone.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to know where their food comes from, which is agriculture, and they get a taste at the show of where it comes from, and they get to see a lot of ag products.
A number of changes took place this year, including adding more food trucks and shuttle services for parking. There's also some new booths adding to the experience.
We've got a nice array of urban living booths here that have grown a lot since last year, so when we say farm show, we've got something for the wife to, while you're looking at buying a piece of equipment or power washer or whatever, there's some nice shopping for them to do that's really been enhanced since last year.
In the 21st century, you can do almost anything online, but Owen says there's benefits to coming to the farm show in person.
One is you got that salesperson there, but you can deal with the form, fit, and function. You see something online, it's a picture of it, and you see it running in a perfect scenario of a video, But to be here, you got that technical salesperson that can talk about the pros and cons and show you how to adjust stuff.
Nathan Leslie is the location manager for Pittsburgh's Heritage Tractor. He says they value their online customers, but there's something about that in-person connection.
The people in our community and the people in our business and the relationships we make are very important, and that's what makes us successful.
In Pittsburgh, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
Farm Show runs through Sunday. You can find more information in this story at KOAMnewsnow.com. A private farm in Wyandotte, Oklahoma is opening up to the public and says they hope to bring more agro-tourism to the area. Agro-tourism has to do with taking a farm or garden and opening it up to the public. So the Creation Safari Wildlife Farm contacted Travel Oklahoma to officially become part of the agro-tourism community. They say they hope to bring more tourism to northeastern Oklahoma and the entire state.
In the 7 weeks, we have people as far as 4 hours away already drive here. A lot of people within an hour to 2 hours have came. And then, of course, all of our, local people.
Before making the switch to go public, the property had been a family farm for 20 years. KOAM is partnering with other TV stations in Missouri owned by Gray Television Group for a series of polls on a variety of topics. The online surveys were conducted last week by Survey USA. So far, we've looked at voting preferences, the economy, abortion, recreational marijuana, police pay, and education. Well, this evening, we wrap up our series with a look at some specific political questions. Jordan Abbey reports.
Close to 1,800 registered voters were polled on questions centering around current political members and possible candidates. Do you approve or disapprove of the job that Joe Biden is doing as president? 49% of total respondents disapprove, 21% somewhat approve, 13% somewhat disapprove, 12% strongly approve, and 4% are not sure. 54% of white respondents chose strongly disapprove, compared to 43% of other race respondents and 11% of black respondents. 85% of Republican respondents strongly disapprove, while 46% of independent voter respondents and 8% of Democrat respondents disapprove. 35% of total respondents somewhat approve of the job Mike Parson is doing as governor, 21% strongly disapprove, 18% somewhat disapprove, 13% are not sure, and 12% strongly approve. Thinking ahead to the 2024 election for president, if Donald Trump and Joe Biden were candidates, who would you vote for? 50% of total respondents picked Donald Trump, 35% sided with Joe Biden, and 15% were undecided. 89% of Republican voters picked Donald Trump. 42% of independent voter respondents would vote for Trump, compared to 30% of independent voter respondents who would vote for Biden. Jordan Abbey, KOAM News.
You can visit our website for many more details of this voting poll and other polls, KOAMnewsnow.com/elections. Coming up, some local elementary students take a trip to a river to learn about water safety. Plus, a local restaurant makes a donation to the Joplin Police Department. With Memorial Day coming up soon, some local kids took to the waterways today to learn about water safety. Big Elk Floats and Camping partnered with Knoll Elementary to give students a chance to learn the fundamentals of being in and around a canoe. Organizers say this program helps kids learn how to safely operate a canoe and to know the dangers of the river to avoid accidents.
We did talk a little bit about water quality because there are macroinvertebrates, little tiny bugs that live under the rocks. And you turn over that rock, and if you find certain bugs, they are intolerant of pollution. So if you find them, it's a healthy river. If you don't find them, it's probably polluted. You probably shouldn't swim there.
Of course, waterways can be especially dangerous when the waters rise after spring rain. The city of Columbus, Kansas has issued a boil water advisory because of a water system leak. Due to the leak, school was canceled today, and the opening of the city's splash pad set for today has been postponed. Officials said the advisory will be in place until that leak is fixed. A local restaurant today presented a donation to the Joplin Police Department. Old Chicago Pizzeria and Tap Room donated more than $8,000 to the families of the JPD officers who were shot during an incident in March that left 2 officers dead and 1 injured. The donation came from a combination of a portion of sales over 3 days and donations from guests and local businesses. A little bit later, Pitt State and Missouri Southern prepare for the Division II Outdoor Track and Field Championships.
Plus, thunderstorms increase over the next few hours. Let's break that down coming up. Well, it's turned out to be another warm and muggy day across the region. Hey, there it went. And it looks pretty good for us right now. We are going to get some scattered thunderstorms popping up as we go through the evening hours. Landers, Chevrolet, Tower Cam, we're looking at I-44 points east out of the city. All right, cold front has rolled in. So we have 80s to the south, 70s, even 60s to the north. You can see northerly winds, southerly winds. They meet right through the city, right along the I-44 corridor. So if any thunderstorms pop up, it's going to be along that front, and then they'll kind of expand from that point in time as we go through the rest of the evening hours. Also super windy for us today, but as this front has rolled in, the winds have been dying down, so it's not near as windy for us outside. It's going to be still a little breezy for us tomorrow, but at least better than what we have seen. Currently sitting 83 south winds, 10 to 15, humidity at about 70%. Through the rest of the evening hours, slide into the 70s, slide into the 60s, but chances for showers and thunderstorms increase. Eventually, most of us upper 50s for overnight lows tonight, so it starts to get a little bit cooler. All right, here with the front, we do have a lot of mid and upper level clouds, but we don't have a ton of moisture to work with, so nothing has developed. I do think between 7 and 9 p.m. along the I-44 corridor, we'll start to get a few thunderstorms popping up. You can see a couple little sprinkles trying to get going along that front. They're just having a hard time. Eventually, we will. A little bit farther south, I think this is the better shot for severe weather, kind of down southeastern, eastern parts of Oklahoma, northwest Arkansas as we go through the evening hours tonight. All right, let's go through time. Here's 8:30. You can see the thunderstorms getting going along the I-44 corridor and then kind of expanding as we get into late evening. Again, any severe weather would stay in Delaware, McDonald, Benton, or Berry counties. Everybody else, scattered thunderstorms. These will flare up for all of us, especially after midnight. And some of these storms could be stronger. We can't rule out a low-grade severe storm, but really just kind of good old spring thunderstorms. Scattered about into the morning hours. We'll stop at about 9 a.m. Most of the rain is out of here. But then on the backside, we'll start to get scattered showers and thunderstorms kind of flaring up again by the time we head into tomorrow afternoon, into the evening hours. So if you are going to do outdoor activities this weekend, Sunday is the better day. Tomorrow's the better day to do stuff inside. 64 by noon. Look at this. We drop back into the 50s by the time we head into the afternoon hours. Look at our temps tomorrow night. We dive all the way down into the lower 40s for overnight lows. Sunday overall looks pretty good, back into the mid 60s, and then by Sunday night into Monday, here we go again, clouds increase, rain chances increase across the region. Rainfall amounts tonight along and south of the I-44 corridor, probably ½ inch to an inch, maybe some heavier amounts. 64s over the weekend, 66 Monday, 68 Tuesday, 60s all through next week until Friday, which is cool as we head into Memorial Weekend. We do have thunderstorm threats, not a lot of severe threat, but that also ramps up by Memorial Weekend as well.
Those temperatures at least sound pretty nice for the next week.
Yeah, I'll take 60s.
You bet. Thanks, Doug. Hey, Joplin police say wind gusts today might have been a factor when this semi-trailer overturned on the westbound ramp of I-44 from Missouri 43. The truck was hauling recycled metal when it tipped over. A wind advisory was in effect for much of the day as gusts reached 45 miles per hour. Still ahead, Crowder College baseball hits the field in Louisiana looking to earn a spot in the JUCO World Series. And Carl Junction Soccer aims for redemption in tomorrow's district championship against Branson. Jacob Leonard has that and more up next.
The Crowder College baseball team is playing in the South Central District Tournament this week in Louisiana. It's a 3-team double elimination tournament with the winner moving on to the Junior College World Series. The Crowder is actually playing 2 games today. Their first one, Rough Riders beat Eastern Oklahoma 6-4. Gavin Glasgow goes 1 for 4 with a home run. And Crowder will be right back on the field against Delgado at 7:30. Pittsburg State and Missouri Southern are less than a week away from competing at the Division II Outdoor Track and Field Championships in Allendale, Michigan. Now, Southern has 16 athletes qualified for nationals, while Pittsburg State is taking 29 to Michigan. On the men's side, the Gorillas head into nationals ranked 4th in the country. They're coming off a 3rd-place finish at Indoor Nationals back in March. The Gorilla men are led by senior Lewis Rollins, who is ranked 2nd in the nation in the 110-meter hurdles. Will try to bring home a national championship in his final meet competing for Pittsburg State.
We're getting really close to this all-time D2 record, so that's something I have my eye on and something I want to achieve. So getting closer and closer to that, being able to cap off my career with a national title and national record is kind of the goal.
Just to know where he came from, how far he's come, and what he's had to do to get to this point, to be truly a blessing. I'm just honored, honestly, to be a part of it and just watch him. And hopefully I can help him along the way, but he's done more for me in this program than I could ever do for him.
The Carl Junction girls soccer team will play for a district title at home tomorrow afternoon. Our own Danny Terzer catches up with the Bulldogs today ahead of the championship matchup with Branson.
As the Carl Junction Bulldogs head into the district championship game, a sour memory comes to mind.
Last season was really hard for us. It was a big game, and we didn't win it, and I think that kind of impacted us and made us want it even more. We have more passion this year.
Last year, Carl Junction fell to Webb City in the district championship game in penalty kicks. But this year, they say they're both a stronger group and more motivated than ever.
We noticed how the other team was celebrating, how they felt, and we tried to put that in the memory bank.
A lot has changed since last season.
The experience that we're getting and putting us in those situations last year, this year we're putting the same situations and we're putting the ball in the back of net, and that's what's getting us wins.
This year I just think our main focus is being together as a team and winning as a team instead of individually.
CJ will play Branson at home in the championship game on Saturday. The Bulldogs beat the Pirates 3-1 just last week.
I think now they're starting to believe that they're a good team. I think they're starting to believe that they can win and they're a quality team top to bottom, and then we can compete with some of the better teams in the state. So I think that's the biggest thing, is this the confidence that our team is gaining over this last couple weeks.
It's the 3rd straight district championship appearance for the Bulldogs. The last time they won it was in 2019 when the current seniors were freshmen.
I just remember being so excited and just like jumping up with my teammates in the air. I remember we just passed the plaque around and all took pictures with it, and we were just so proud. The motivation is it's my senior year, so I think that we need to finish how we started, and it's just I want to get this team as far as we can go.
In Carl Junction, Danny Terzer, KOAM Sports.
Carl Junction and Branson will hit the field at noon tomorrow for the district championship game. We'll have highlights and post-game reaction right here tomorrow night at 6. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Paul Brennicke served in the U.S. Army from 1944 to 1952. His hometown, Chanute, Kansas, and we salute Master Sergeant Paul Brennicke, a four-state hero. There's some more rain chances coming in tonight.
Yeah, scattered showers and thunderstorms picking up over the next few hours. These are just going to mainly be good old storms, not really much of a severe threat for us. Also scattered thunderstorms for us tomorrow. Again, not a severe threat. Look at our temps, 42 tomorrow night, 64 Sunday, but Sunday's going to be a nice day.
Yeah, and 11 of those highs in the 60s. Yeah. That looks nice. Final sports note.
Crowder College baseball hits the field at 7:30 against Delgado. If they win that game, they will play for the district championship and a spot in the JUCO World Series tomorrow.
Let's go, Crowder. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.
Salon service is provided by